Bring up the chat on your phone. Where's the chat? YouTube Live.
So Prescott was calling me. You mind you call him back?
No, you're on.
Where's the chat?
Hi, Three Blade Ceiling fan. Hi, Future. GG4. Hi. Happy Sunday as well. Did you find it?
I'm in comments. So somebody asked a question. I'm not sure if it's live this week or last week. Good afternoon, everybody. Three Blade Ceiling fan, Future. Hi, thank you for jumping on. Last week. GG4. Island Girl 23. Does that mean you're 23 years old? Could be.
Or was 23?
Or was 23. Hi, Anthony. Thanks for joining. Yes, happy Sunday. Hi, Alison Smith. I'm a vegan. How is that going? Mine is going so horribly.
But you failed to prepare.
Yeah, fail to prepare. So you must fail. Must fail. Prepare to fail if you fail to prepare. Kenrick. Hi, Kenrick. We just lost our screen. All right, back now. Great Britain. How is Great Britain with the prices of food?
Oh, the prices of food in Great Britain.
The prices of food going up everywhere. Canada, US, Jamaica. Can you use equity in a Jamaican home to purchase one in the US? You probably could. As in Jamaica, they ask you what you're going to do with the money, but you can tell them, and then you get the money in your bank account and you do what you want to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you were born on the 23rd. Okay. Yeah, you can get the equity. I think it's 85% of the value of the property. Is it the value or the for sale value? I think it's the value.
So do you need to be able to qualify for the loan?
Yeah, you have to qualify for the loan. Well, with all loans, you have to qualify for the loan.
Oh. So it's not the host need to qualify.
No, it's you. That's the thing, you know. Because there are a lot of persons who are them hosts rich but cash poor.
But I don't get it. What's the point of pulling equity if you qualify for the loan?
That's another thing. Why pull equity if you qualify? Yeah, because if you qualify for the loan, you can just go get a new loan and buy the property.
Which is why I thought it was the host that qualified, not necessarily you.
It's you who qualify. You have another question?
We do. Very expensive. People have to be selling their houses in the UK. Can't afford mortgages.
Wow.
Right. Like I heard my
Is
friend,
that widespread though?
Maybe. My friend said her mortgage almost doubled.
Doubled?
Yeah.
That reminds me of the 90s here. We have a mortgage, so it didn't double. It was what, 14,000 more? 15,000 more. Mortgage doubled.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're paying £2,000 and now you're paying £4,000. So who are they selling to? I would think most persons would be in the same predicament.
Mm-hmm. Or higher income earning persons who have to buy cheaper houses.
Yeah.
They could afford St. Andrew, they now have to afford St. Catherine.
Yeah. Wow. Hi, Maxine. Hi. My grandfather is buried on a parcel of land that has commission of lands as the owner on the property tax statement. How can we get it titled in my name and what's the process? So, Louis, anything that says commission of lands belong to the government of Jamaica. And you'll have to be on that land. It was changed recently. I think it was 40 years. What is it now? You can look it up, but for you to adverse possess government land is like, nah, not gonna happen.
Oh,
not going to happen. If it says Commission of Lands, that belongs to the government of Jamaica. Is it widespread as mortgages go up with the increasing rates 3 times, 4 times?
Right.
Which means they must have doubled your interest rates. What are the interest rates now in the UK? They must have doubled
That's
it.
what Kendrick is saying. Interest rates crazy in the UK.
The Chinese and foreign investors buying up. Oh my gosh. Wow. How can a parent hand over a land to a child that there is no title for, but the tax office paper, the parent own it? Is there such a thing? Tony usually call that land dead left land.
Yeah, but
you can do, I'm trying to think, you can leave it in a will. You can't add the person name to the title. You can't probably no.
But
you can leave it in a will.
Why you want to leave it in a will and both parent and child is alive?
Go and go and get the title.
Yeah, go and get the title.
Geoland, go and get the title. How easy to sell unfinished house in Jamaica? Almost impossible. Unless it have a roof on it. If it has a roof, only need window and door and little tiling and so on, then yeah, maybe. The thing with it, why it is so difficult is because the banks don't cooperate. So the banks will only give the value of the land. Because as far as they're concerned, it don't have no house on it. It don't have no roof, it's not a building. In the UK, we have poor, middle class, and the very rich. That's not just the UK doing, that's all over. That's right here in Jamaica.
Yeah, very rich.
The poor, the middle class, and the very rich. That's everywhere. Not just in the UK. Hi, Arnett. Louis
says, my grandfather is buried on the parcel of land that the Commission of Lands has the owner of the property. How can we get the title in my name and what's the process?
You'd have to try adverse possess Commission of Lands. How big is the land? It's a big piece of land, boss. Commission of Lands usually own lots of land. Rates were 1.9 now. Now 6% most lenders offering. My God. So if you had a mortgage at 2% and it went to 6%.
That's what my friend was saying.
So the man do a finsack pound, man. Mm-hmm. We went through that in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Interest rates just skyrocketed. Couldn't pay the mortgages and they just went. People just.
But why would they do that? What's the purpose?
Them say it's to shut down inflation, but it doesn't work.
Oh.
I think it's just to make the rich richer, really.
So
because you panic now when you start to sell. Not realizing that if you can hang in for 2 years, everybody, if you can hang in there for 2 years.
That's 24 months worth of payment.
Yeah, if you can just hang in there, things will go back to the way they were. They can't keep up that kind of interest rates for more than 2 years. No. As the economy would suffer.
And I think what we don't realize too is when we get the mortgage here, we should be saving 2 times the mortgage. So if you're paying $15,000 in mortgage, you really should be putting another $15,000 aside for situations like this.
Are you doing that? Who does that?
Yeah. But you should.
How can you afford to do that? You have to eat food.
I know, but if we were putting away 10% of our income, we would be doing this.
No, but your mortgage is not 10% of your income. Your mortgage is 50% of your income. So even the 10% of your income is not going to save you.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And in their case, moving from 2% to 6%, we can look at what that looks like. Let me see if there's another question before we get to that. He's ill right now. I want to sign it over to him. Just in case of death, is there a faster way to get it turned over to him, like a letter signed by a JP, etc.? Does he own the land? Is this the same person who says it's owned by Commission of Lands?
No, this is the person whose name is on the property tax paper, but they have no title.
Conveyance? No. Conveyance is if you're selling.
And you can't do a gift of transfer without a title.
I'm just. Um,
Maybe an attorney would have a
you can still go adverse possession, even if he dies. It's just that you would say he has now deceased and I am now.
adverse possession.
Not adverse. You would try to get the title using geoland
Oh,
by showing possession, that you're in possession.
so what about that paper that have to sign that says two people who know the land, whatever?
Right. People, if you know the land, will say that their grandfather was on the land for
Okay,
all these years.
okay.
That's what has to be done. It's a really affidavit from two persons who are over, who know the land more than 30 years. And they must be over 50 years old, something like that. Now, if you go on the Geoland website, no roof, but it is in Palm Brook Estate.
Need a roof.
You need a roof. That's gonna be a tough sell. Worse if you're asking big money. Monica, you missed the book club. we did chapter 2. So you will get the recording in your email. You can go through it. Palm Brook Estates. Oh, Palm Brook Estates. We're selling Palm Brook Estates for what now? 6.5 mil?
Mm-hmm.
That's the land. How far up is it? Is no roof. It reach what we call belt course or it's just at foundation?
What is belt course? That's above the window.
Yeah. The belt or the beam. Jamaica we say the belt.
Okay.
Um Palm Brook Estates. Just thinking. When she tells me where it reach, depends. As I say, it might be just the land.
Mm-hmm.
Hi Monica, good evening. Safi, good night. Good night, Safi. Safi must be in England. Why is she saying good night? Paulette, good evening. Good evening, everybody. All right, let's look at what's the answer, lady. Sorry, I missed it. What's the answer? What was the question, Divinity? Go back to
Question
it.
about the grandfather want to leave it to the son, but there's no title, only name on the property tax certificate.
The son have to just keep in possession of the property and then go and get the title. He can't get the title even after his granddad is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Can he leave it in a will in the meantime?
yeah, he should leave it in a will.
Mm-hmm.
That's what one of my other clients did. But before your grandfather passes, you need for him to give you the receipts as to how he came into the land. Any receipts showing that he bought the property. All of that. Or if somebody died and left it to him, wrote something and said, John Brown must get this property. But if it's the one with the Commissioner of Lands, if the Commissioner of Lands name is on it, uh, if your dad passed over 15 years and you have the deed and purchase of approval for the land and you have been paying the taxes all the time, is there a way of getting the title? Yes. Geoland. Let's go back to Geoland. All right, so Geoland allows us to do this. So with Geoland, I can also act as the agent for you with Geoland. But you have to give me these documents, and I do charge you to act as the agent. If you're overseas, I usually act for persons who are overseas. If you're local, you can run up and down in Geoland and get this done. So let's go to services. Let me see. Land title application. So this is what you, oh my goodness, don't.
Their page is down.
What's wrong with these people? No, maybe it is somewhere. So just type in, it's in my email. Type in documents needed for land titling. Slight headache, everybody.
Would you like some water?
Yeah, thanks.
They had it on
See there,
page
they had it
online.
on, it was there. Oh, that link is probably broken.
Mm-hmm.
Which link is this now? Same link, our services. So you need any tax land valuation documents. That is your property tax paper that shows a number, right? You need a valid photo ID, passport, and so on and so forth. Notarized for persons overseas. As part of the process of your application, you'll be required to provide the following. So you need the proof of ownership, which is what I was talking about earlier. How did your dad or granddad come to have the land? Did he get a common law title, meaning he bought it from somebody under the conveyance? Was it a deed of gift, conveyance, a purchase, a receipt, a will, or any other document that proves ownership? Which is why I'm saying your granddad can write a will. That's one thing you need. It's a proof of ownership. You need 2 declarants. This is a person who knows the history of the property for at least 30 years and will sign a declaration to that effect. The declarant cannot be a relative and must be over 50 years old, right? That's where it comes in. And you will need to provide GeoLand with the name, the age, the address, and the occupation of the 2 declarants. So you just find 2 persons who know the land over 30 years, and them themselves must be older than 50 years. And you give GeoLand the name, the address, and the occupation of the 2 declarants. Because it's GeoLand who will do up the document, the declaration document, and that person will sign it. Now, the history of the land. So you must be able to explain how about the history of the land for the past 7 to 40 years. So it's something like, well, my grandmother bought it from Thomas, Mr. Tom. This is the receipt where she paid the money. And she built a house on it, and she has lived there for 40 years. When she deceased, I myself went and lived there, or my children lived there. Something like that. But the history of the land. You also need the name, age, address, occupation, and TRN of the persons whose names are to be placed on the title. And you also need your TRN number. So sometimes the person applying is not their name on title. So when I apply for my client, it is not my name on title, it's the client's name who goes on title. So you must have all, I ask for all these things because I don't want to waste time. But with GeoLand, they're saying if you don't have any of these, you can still apply. Starting an application requires the the tax number, and a valid ID. But I would suggest you get those things. All right. Application for a certificate of title. So if you own land, you don't have a registered title, GeoLand would apply to the Office of Titles at NLA to obtain a certificate of title for your property and deliver to you when obtained. All right. Also, they'll formalize a subdivision. So apply to the appropriate local authority for approval of a subdivision where land has been divided into lots and sold or possession given to several others. We're in a situation, I know somebody in this situation right now. So let us say you live on a property where it was a 10-acre property. And back in the day, persons used to just point and say, there's where the mango tree to the next orange tree to the soursop tree to the guango tree, that I'm selling that to you. Pay $1,000. You pay $1,000, you get your receipt, and you're done. You're gone, you build your house, you live on the land. And them do that with quite a number of persons till eventually everybody have a little piece somewhere on this place. It all have a road, little road, and you have GPS light to, and NWC might come in and give you water to, and all of that. If you're in a situation like that, GeoLand on your behalf will apply to the appropriate local authority for the approval of the subdivision. It's going to start with pre-check. a topo survey from the surveyor who will come in, do the topo, and he will now outline how to track them stay and how each person's section is on the land and all of that and try and get their approval. Right? So if you're in a situation like that, if you live in one of those informal communities, then you can also try and get it that way.
Okay.
Do you check proof of ownership before listing a property online? Yes, proof of ownership usually is either the title, usually it's the title though, as opposed to the property tax certificate. So you check the title to make sure that the person selling it is who them say them is and them ID.
Cheesy wants to know if you live at the family home and is only one parent left on title, should I push to get on the title before they pass with my other siblings, or will it just pass to us?
I thought Jervis had a question.
Jervis? Oh, I thought we had this one already. No. Oh, if your dad passed away 15 years ago and you have the deed and the purchase of approval for the land and you've been paying the taxes all the time, is there a way of getting the title for the land?
Okay, this is same. This is Geoland.
Right.
Geoland Jervis.
Right. Cheesy, the only thing that passes easily is flu. So you have to go do some work and get your sibling's name on the title, don't you?
If you live at the family home and there's only one parent left on the title, should I push to get on the title before they pass with my other siblings, or will it just pass to us? No, Cheesy. The person that leave now, well, first of all, you have to know if it's joint tenants. So if the title is joint tenants, it means that the person who is left now will own the property fully. Mm-hmm. But if it was tenants in common, the person who leave now don't own the property fully, only own half of it. The person who died owns half of it. So before I can do anything, you have to know that.
Check the title.
Check the title. If it's joint tenants, you can proceed to add yourself and your siblings' name to the title, and the person who is left will sign. The parent who is left will sign to that.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is tenants in common, the parent who's left can only give you their half. You're going to have to do a administration with a will on the other parent's half who has died, because it doesn't pass automatic to the parent who is left. Right. So first thing, everybody check and make sure if it is tenants in common or joint tenants. Joint tenants is easier. So if it's joint tenants, yes, proceed to add. If you need a lawyer or paralegal who will help you with that, you can reach out to us on WhatsApp and give it somebody. But do that. Add the name if it's joint tenants, because when you leave a will, it takes about 2-3 years in the courthouse here for the will. And you have to spend money now to do all of that. So you still have to spend the money for no, because you're going to spend now just the. So let us say it's 4 siblings, 4 of you, 1 parent. That is 5. So you're only going to spend 1/5 of the transfer taxes. 1/5?
No, that don't sound right.
Hold on. Yeah.
1/5 for each sibling.
All right, let us say it's 1 person. We'll go for basics. There's 1 person and me and Tycho, and I want to add you, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
I would only pay half of the property tax because I still own the other half.
Right.
So if it's 4 siblings,
you still pay half of the property tax.
You're gonna pay 4/5 of the property tax, because now it's owned by 5 persons. I'm only going to own 1/5.
I don't get it. Like,
all right, let me explain it again.
Be winning on this?
They are winning because you're paying 4/5.
Oh.
So let us say the property value of 2 million. I'm on title. I want to add you. 2% of 2 million is what I am required to pay in property tax in total. Mm-hmm. So that's how I was selling the whole thing. I'll pay 2%. But because I'm only giving you half, I'm still on title with half. I'm only going to pay 1%, which is half of 2%. Right?
Mm-hmm. So,
So if it's hold on, so if it's three of us, if it's two of you, you and your sister,
mm-hmm.
and I want to add you and your sister to my title, it's now three of us. I would only own 1/3.
Okay.
So therefore, the government would want 2/3 in transfer tax. So that's 2/3 times 2% times the purchase price or the value price. No, because we're not selling.
Oh, so the government only wants the tax of the portion that's being transferred.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, part that's being transferred. So if it's four siblings, one parent on title, it will now be five of them. So the government will want 4/5 times 2% times the value of the property.
okay.
Usually cheaper than, is it really? Can it be?
Cheaper than what?
Thinking if it's cheaper than a debt duties, maybe not. But it saves you the inconvenience of this will and the inconvenience of persons coming and say, oh, I should, them say me should have, oh, come in the will and all these other people turn up and da 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 da. You know that get messy. So act now.
I don't get why the will thing is so slow though.
I don't know. I'm in Canada. Okay. Let's be. What is the logic behind the decision to raise the prices of housing and development that they're struggling to sell? I have no clue, Safi. So if they're struggling to sell,
Mm-hmm.
they should stop building and sell what is built already.
Mm-hmm.
If you're struggling to sell, you're struggling to sell, you don't continue building. You sell off what is there already, and then you start over again. They may be raising the prices, hoping to cover the loss based on how much it costs them to build.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Sometimes that happen. Would you rather let it sit there for a while rather than negotiate, and go miss something?
No, it's same Staffy. The same developers raising the price.
Would they rather let it sit there for a while rather than negotiate?
Let the house sit there for a while, unsellable at the new high price, than negotiate with the persons who have come forward to buy at a lower price.
Here's the challenge with selling at a lower price. Here's a challenge. So let us say the developer started selling the house at 100,000 US. They raised the price to 150,000 US. Somebody actually bought it at 150,000 US already.
Mm-hmm.
So the price in the market now is 150,000 US. A valuer coming there will look at the precedent and see that this house was sold for 150,000 US, and that is now the market price.
Mm-hmm.
If he now goes and sell it to you, Safi, for argument's sake, for $120,000, that is now the new market price.
And the other person would have overpaid.
And yes. So I can understand why a developer would hesitate or would not want to sell at a lower value. Unless, Safi, here's what you can negotiate now. Negotiate purchasing the unit as a shell, not as a complete unit.
Mm-hmm.
So you negotiate and buy it as a shell, meaning your 120 is now it is sold as a shell. It is not a complete unit.
Like it might be missing what kitchen and bathroom.
Might all miss window and door, or roof, anything. But I negotiate buying it as a shell. So it's not completed. Then the developer now might entertain your argument.
Um,
Sometimes it don't make sense buying it as a shell. If you buy it as a shell, you have to savvy. So you have to have your builder, you have to have your people,
mm-hmm.
You have to can get the discounted rates for the tile and the days and that. Because remember, they're buying in bulk.
Allison says, I have a diagram of land that my father left me, which was a gift from his mother. How can I get the title? My uncle is paying the tax, which I contribute to. That's the same jail land, right?
So why your uncle paying the tax and not you? Thought you got the land. If you get the land, you must pay the tax. It's your land. Remember that. Right? No. It's the same geo land you have to go to. Good thing is that you have the diagram, but if the diagram is over 7 years old, you have to get that redone. It's called a pre-check diagram, and a land surveyor does that. So you have to get that done. And you also have to do the other things that we say. Know the land over 30 years, you need the two declarants, you need a receipt from your dad how you came about the land and so on. Remember everybody, you must pay your own taxes if you own the land. So is it that this land belongs to you and your uncle? So if the land is for you and your uncle, it's just that you holding the pre-check diagram. Then when you put in the names to geoland, is you and your uncle's name must be on it for to go on the title.
Okay, here's another question. GG4 wants to know, grandma died intestate. Mhm. And her husband benefited from the parcel of land. Husband made a will to children. How to proceed without a will from grandma to show how her husband got it.
So grandma's husband is not your father, it sounds like. But you said that grandma already, did she do a will?
No,
No.
she died intestate.
So do a administration without will, but the husband is entitled to half, and the children share the rest.
But he made a will and left his part to the children.
Right. So they just need to probate the two will. Probate the will for him, and then administration without will for her. Unless she gave him all the land already. Does that have a title? If she gave him all the land already and he put his name on the title, they don't need to administer your grandmother's death.
Right.
Because your father already have the land, it's in his name, so him own it. Right. So him leave for him will now, so it's his will he must administer. Unless it's only half he got.
Then you have to do that.
Then you have to do that. Another question.
Donahue wants to know, just need roof and finishing touch.
That's the Palmbrook Estate.
Mm-hmm. But if it needs a roof?
Roof is a big expense.
Mm-hmm.
And is this a big house? You just have to try put it up for sale and see what happens. You might find somebody with cash who can run with it. Just put it up for sale.
Arnett says, Miss Claudia, I wasn't ready to put this question to you as yet, but it's bothering me. Please call me insane and I will accept it.
Please call me insane. Insane. Where did I hear that word since insane?
I was encouraged to buy a small piece of land in the country. I want to hear more about this. Oh, one moment. Let me see what this question is. Do you check proof of ownership before listing a property online? Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Arnett continues. The person put his name on it. Mm-hmm. And when I went home, I went to the tax office and added my name.
The tax office?
The office sent us the title office. And I have never heard from the person again. He claimed that the land is his. It's a very long story. Give me your take. Give me your take on this. I think I was scammed.
Can you prove that you send the money directly to him to buy the land?
Like, do you have like a receipt, bank transfer?
Even so, you have to have a direct link that this money, it was not just send it to him for friendship and
Was
whatever.
there a lawyer involved with the
Yes,
transfer?
you have to have a direct link to show that this 5 million that I sent to this man was to do this transaction. Do you have that? Because you could be sending maintenance money. Mm-hmm. Do you have to have that? Do you have that direct link to show? Was there a lawyer involved? Probably there was a lawyer, but the lawyer didn't know about her. So the man went to the lawyer on his own with the money.
So what's this part she said about her name is on? I went to the tax
No, she got the
office
tax
and
office
added
and
my
added
name.
but that don't mean nothing.
The office sent us the title.
No name, not on it. It's a title that is important. So you would have to go to court and play and say foul play. You would have to go to court and prove to the judge that this money is not money that you were just sending to not to buy the land, but the money was directly to buy the land.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any like conversations to prove that you
What kind
are
of
in this
conversations? You mean
WhatsApp
written
messages,
or
email, or
emails
anything like that to
to
prove your
prove?
case?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll get back to Arnett. 123 Wall says, can a title change from an individual to a trust in geoland?
Arnett said she thinks she was scammed. Yes, Arnett, you were scammed. You must have a lawyer, and the money should go to the lawyer, really, not to the person, right? Even if you ban it from an individual, it must go to the lawyer. Can a title change from an individual to a trust in geoland? It's not geoland who do that. Geoland only helping you if you don't have a title. You have a title already, then you go through the other channels of doing the transfer. Use a lawyer or paralegal and get them to do the transfer for you.
So into a trust?
To a trust company. Suppose you set up a trust company. Like it has a Davis Trust. Not property tax, transfer tax. One let me see. Oh, hi, Louis. Glad you're back. I hope you are hearing the conversation. In both names at the tax office, been there, very important. I don't even know why you are in this paying property tax. Paying property tax don't mean you own anywhere. It's only the title, guys. The title. Paying property tax don't mean anything. It just means that the government collect them money from you. You need to have your title. If you don't have title, you must be in possession. And in possession can mean a number of things. It can mean say you rent out the place to somebody and you collecting the rent, so you're in possession. Mm-hmm. It can mean that you live there, or your children live there, or you plant trees for the land, you take care of it, you tie out your goat, you do all of that. Possession is 9/10 of the law. So when you go to court, if you can't tell the court that you were keeping and care of this land and you were in possession of the land, the judge is gonna look at you like, why are you wasting the court's time? No, you know the court is supposed to protect property. So 1, 2, 3 hour is not. It is not. This paying of this property tax, you know. The team think if you pay people property tax, them can't take it from you.
No, I don't think that's what they think.
All right, go and go pay the property tax in my house and see if they can get it. But there every day, I not get it. Which judge go and give it to you? I am in possession. I live here, right? So those of you who are overseas, you need to make sure that your land is properly fenced. You put a caretaker on the land. You make him pay rent to you. You are in possession. That's when nobody can go up on the land and go talk about, oh, me live here all long, you know. Yes, and Mars Joe knows me there, me born here, you know, me raise me two picking them here, you know. No. That's showing on the TAJ site as owner. We passed it already, Louis.
No, he says, didn't hear the answer to my question.
Oh, Louis. It's difficult. Any land, commission of lands means that it belongs to the government of Jamaica. That's what that means. So, and you can only adverse possess. Look it up, Tony. You have to be on the land for how much donkey years you can adverse possess. It's rough adverse possess government.
I know out of all the title situations that we're dealing with today, this is the most difficult one.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. Government not give up them land so willingly unless the squatter them overrun them with it. But
many squatters.
Many, like thousands, hundreds. And even though they're squatters, them still can't go to the government and say them want a title feet. This government gonna say you can't go and live there, but you can't get a title for this. So Louis, how much land is it though?
What? 60 years.
60 years and move it from 40. It used to be 40. 12 years for private property and 60 years for government land. Which website that on? Is it Jamaica? You need to put Jamaica behind that.
In Jamaica, it's a continent down.
Oh. Yeah, 60 years. You sent the money to your brother. Well, if a third party that man. Earn it. You want to give me another question?
Yeah, you can scroll.
I think it's 60 years. It used to be 40, but I think it was 60. Now move. Is a title in your name, Donahue? Scroll down. Lois Lecky. My grandfather is buried on a pass. The same question.
GG4 says no grandma name is on a conveyance and actually registered as JAS.
Yeah.
What's JAS?
So like Jamaica Agricultural Society.
Okay.
So yeah, you can get that. The office sent us to go to the title office in Maypen. To do what? To do what, Arnett? Scroll down.
Is there a title for this property, Arnett?
Yes, there is. The man buy the property in his name. This is the one.
Oh.
I sent the money through global transfer. Did it say to buy so and so? Scroll down. I sent it to my brother. Wow.
Does her brother put his name on the property?
No, I never saw him. So she also sent the money to her brother, who then gave it to the man. I think. Hi, Lenny. Yeah, we're enjoying ourselves. Thank you so much. Louis, 50 acres.
The government not
give you that.
I thought maybe it was like 5,000 square feet.
Yeah, a little quarter
like a little
acre.
part that dad was buried on.
Yeah, a little quarter acre. Louis. Commission of lands means it belongs to the government. Oh, your brother is the one who put his name on it, aren't it? You have to take him to court and call foul play.
But your brother?
Shall we take him to court?
But your brother? How do you take your brother to court? How do I take Rachel to court over land matters?
Well, I should just leave it, brother. But
I would leave it alone.
But why don't you ask your brother to add your name to the title?
He's saying it's his land.
Where him get money from? That's why I should go to court. To prove him have to prove Sam did have the money.
Yeah, but those things draw blood, man. I would leave it alone.
I ain't afraid of little blood. I had to pay and have receipts in my name while I was getting from a fraudulent owner in possession of the land. Receipts in my name while I was getting from a fraudulent owner in possession of the land. Arnett, these things do happen, but where was the lawyer? You didn't have a lawyer, nothing. We can't send money to your brother, man, for buy land. You have to send it to the lawyer bank account.
This is your microphone. You can't move it.
Oh, I can't move it. All right, what's the next question? Yeah, Arnett, you have to use a lawyer in these transactions. And you didn't sign anything? You never find it suspicious, or you didn't sign anything?
Sale agreement, transfer paper, receipt for the money.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it's family. She don't trust her family to do the right thing,
No,
mom.
but I'm saying, shit.
Because I would trust my sister to do the right thing by me if I was in foreign and sending money.
Hey, good. I appreciate all these information you guys willing to share. Is it possible to build a little short-term rental empire? Sure it is. Easiest thing to do. To make a boom in a short-term rental.
The more unique it is, the better.
Better too, yeah. The more it look out of the, what you call it? No.
Unique?
What you call unique? What you call unique? No AC, no running water.
No. Though it's funny, like I saw a video where you could rent this Airbnb for $1 per night, and it was basically under the pier, like by the beach under the pier.
So who have authority to rent out under the pier?
That's what I'm saying. That was very unique, right?
And people actually give them $1. Them
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, for what happens for persons who want to wait the night for the surfer people wait for like a special wave to come in or whatever.
Oh.
So they
So the person that probably provides security. I don't know. Let me see if Commission of Lands on my website. Most persons don't know about Commission of Land.
Paulette says dead left causing too much debt in Jamaica now. I wish I didn't get anything to share from my mom.
To share? You were supposed to share it?
I guess with siblings.
So why you mean? What you mean you wish you never get? You must want the inheritance. You mean your mother worked so hard and now you say you wish you never get anything?
Yeah, but it causing enough strife.
Why is it causing strife?
Because it never organized properly.
But them not come together and organize it? What's so difficult? Not difficult. It's the mind and the willingness to cooperate.
Well, I mean, not everybody family is the same.
They must cooperate.
Not you can get 5 grown adults in a room and they're going to find something to disagree about.
If you're the administrator, you administer it, and if them want the money, you sell the property, share up the money, move on. That's it. Simple. But is your mother or your father worked very hard for it? It's not easy to pay for a property for 30 years. It's not. So we must honor that, right? And in them working, owning it, keeping a roof over your heads and so on, then play a big, big role. So you have to honor that. You have another question? So just do what you need to do. Get it to the court, get it to the lawyer who will do the probate through the court. Sell it, speak up the money, move on. 50 acres.
No more questions.
All right, let's move into what we're gonna do today.
In the lesson?
Yeah, so Paulette, just be grateful. Everything is attitude.
And a little organization.
Yeah, your cup is either half full or half empty.
But you
Which
know
one you prefer?
A lot of these problems that we're having now is because we don't organize what we're doing before we pass in.
Why need to organize it though? You can't just all live together good? Really?
No, I'm talking the matters where there's no title and they're trying to get the title because this person died without a will, this person died with a will, but you're not sure. Those type of things.
Why even need title? Your mother have a house, she build a house on it, everybody live there, just live happy. Who want move, go build them on a house somewhere else or whatever.
Mommy, but title is power, gives you leverage.
Leverage to do what? I'm not getting no leverage over my title. Hell no. As I say now, all right, everybody, all of you listening to me now. I've told my daughters, I said, listen, I'm not leaving any property for you to sell. You didn't buy it, you cannot sell it. When you buy a property for yourself, sell all you want. Do anything you want. Anything that I've left is for my children, you and Rachel, my grandchildren, Xander and Zema so far, And maybe another 100 grandchildren turn up, but wherever them turn up. My great grand going down the line, right? If you guys want to add property to the fund, then do that. But anything you don't buy, you cannot sell.
But you don't have to sell to get leverage.
No, you can't borrow upon it neither.
You don't have to sell it to get leverage.
I say you cannot borrow either.
If you live in this house without paying a mortgage, you're already leveraged.
Oh, that's what you mean. You're already leveraged, Tonya.
You're already leveraged.
Yeah, because you're not paying a rent, you're not paying a mortgage, you're not paying a light bill and a water. So what not quarrel about? There's nothing to quarrel about.
That's what I'm saying, but you organized it.
Right.
Their families didn't organize it.
They never organized nothing for them.
So now they're like,
yeah,
what are we gonna do?
Yeah, come on, guys. You're already. And then what has happened to it? I know what is happening. Some persons left the family home. Others stayed. Those who leave always believe that who stay, I get more benefit than them. But at them go, they go struggling now. Who did tell them to leave and go struggle? Nobody told them that. I'm sure your mother and father never run you out of the house, right? But you decide, okay, I'm going to go foreign, greener pastures, this, that. So what happened now? You see who stay? No one them come back in the house then. I can't tell you that, you know. Can everyone say, when mama did sick, where did there? Where were you? You understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand that that little bad blood
apparently can purchase government land if you want.
Is there. You can, but I can tell it's gonna 50 acres, them not selling 50 acres. Worse if a prime real estate.
No Commission of Land's website. The only thing that seems to be coming up is
it's National Land Agency, because that's where they are.
Yeah.
So everybody, tell your children if them don't buy it, they can't sell it. All of them live there, grand, great grand. If you don't have enough people to live there, no rent out the place. Put the money in the savings account so that you can maintain the property. They can take care of it, who must get money from it, you can support the younger ones coming up, right? And also encourage them to add a property to what is left. So let us say granny leave 2 property. One on a living out, one on a rent out. Money are coming, When they get big now, all the adult children, encourage them, buy 2 property. One you live in and one you add to this whole rental pool here. So that you have money for when people dead, people want to get married, people want to go university. You understand what I'm saying? Tony, you don't have the money. And then not struggling for their own. This is the thing. You have to build on the wealth that was already left for you. So if you come up, you live in a house, you're not paying a mortgage, you're not paying a rent. All the light bill and water, everything paid for you. You're not at 0. As far as I'm concerned, you're at 100. Don't it? You're at 100. And you should be grateful. So you start at 100, you don't start at 0.
Yeah, but you're right. Those who live in Granny's house and those who don't live in Granny's house, there's not a meeting of the mind.
No, there isn't. Because there is a whole jealousy and a whole resentment and a whole vexation. And then the people overseas always come back and go on like say them really have life good. Oh, you have life so good and we out here suffer. You know? They come in them flashy clothes and them these. I remember my mother's friends when them used to come in. Oh my God. That's why my mother wanted to go to the States so badly. Because they make it look like a bed of roses.
And it's not.
And it's not, you know. So yes, there is a disconnect. And then some of the time too, Granny and Mama spend them last cent when they go ferry. Gonna go farm fool. Don't do what you're supposed to do. Don't help the rest of the family. And then hard time reach your turn on and ask about. So how much land me forget? All a 5 feet too. And the same family, some of them if you're overseas, the only time they hear from you is when somebody dead. You want to come have big funeral. There's a disconnect, guys.
Not only
there's
that,
a disconnect.
That's how you disconnect from your siblings here and there too.
Yeah.
You don't feel like your siblings anymore. There's a stranger who comes every 2 weeks, once a year.
Once a year for 2 weeks. And not only that, siblings migrate, they all go to the States. One gonna Georgia, one gonna Florida, one gonna Atlanta. They want to be so far from each other. You know, so far from each other. The mother and the father spend so much effort to get them into the States in one place, because them no one left them at Jamaica. Yet when you go there, you know, distance in itself.
Yeah,
The
but
problem with black families. The distance in itself. I don't see the rest of the nation, them a do that. Them bring up everybody and them in a one house and them a build and them a do together, them a do this and them a do that. We are so busy to separate ourselves. And then no wonder why we're poor. Why are we poor?
because if you had a household with 5 working adults, a lot could happen there. You know?
Of course. 5 working adults, Tony. Each person only pay 1/5 of the rent. Plus, you can share childcare. You can share grocery shopping. Oh my God, it's endless. What you can do. It's endless. But you wonder why you're poor. How do you make it where your children cannot sell the land they inherited? Louis, for one thing, you tell them. That's the first thing you do. You tell them. So somebody gonna ball out in a, yeah, I'm gonna tell him. But somebody gonna ball out in a lecky. So like if Tony and say, Richie, look, we sell this man. Rachel gonna say, no, you never hear mom say it must sell. Which part of that you never understand?
And I heard that too. My name is on it too. Her name is on it too. So yeah. She don't sign the paper, yes.
Yes. So when you're buying, you can add your children's name to title, right? You can't even add them when they're small. It's just that when they're small, you want to have a clause on it, the reservation clause, I think it's called, that says you can still mortgage or sell the property even though they're minors. That's basically what it says. If they're over 18, your names can be added. If you decide that I want to sell, because I've had properties where them two pick me a name upon it, and I say I want to sell, sign this, sign that. Them can't tell me no because I me buy it, right? But them can't tell each other no because them know them never buy it. No. So you can add their names and you make sure your wishes are known as to what it is that you want done. Another way to do it, you can also add it to the title. So on title, it can say property not to be sold in anybody's lifetime.
In
Tonian's and Rachel's lifetime. Not to be sold.
And you can put on it so that it can pass to.
Right. So you put on it,
offspring.
It can pass to the offspring of Tonian and Rachel. Just the same. Right? Another way to tie it up.
They call it a life interest in the property.
Life interest. Another way to tie it up is to trust. Put it in a trust. That way the trustees have to come together and agree to sell. But in your trust document, you must also put layout. So if you don't want a property for sale, you say you don't want it sell in the trust document. So everybody who come as a trustee, come after that, will understand that down the line. So 100 years from now, like Buckingham Palace or whatever, them can't sell. Them just have to live. Keep on care of the place and live. Right? There are certain properties that you don't want to pass out of your family. If you own a property in prime areas, here how you know it in prime areas. When you look around you, hi Janet, thanks for joining. Hi Miss Dara, thanks for joining. If you look around you, and you see, no, I'm talking about in Jamaica, guys. I don't live anywhere else. I visited England and Canada and Panama and Curacao and I said by myself. Never lived in the countries. If you look around you in Jamaica and you see no zinc fence, one. So you step out through your door and you look around. And you walk up the road, and you walk down the road, and you see no zinc fence. All right. What else? If you live near to a main road or you're on the main, prime property. right? If your land has some resource, water, gold, oil, whatever, prime real estate. Um, if you live to, if you live in, if the property is in urban areas, like Portmore is urban, so is Spanish Town, so is St. Andrew, so is the north coast of Ocho Rios, Miami Bay, Draxal, St. Anne's Bay, Runaway Bay, Discovery Bay, main towns, main on the north coast, right? You are in prime locations. Another test. If you say to yourself, 50, 100 years from now, barring any natural disaster like earthquake and them things in my short place, will I be comfortable sitting on this veranda, looking out with no thugs and no, you must can picture that in your brain, right? When it comes to the real estate is long term. So you have to have a 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step plan. Must be long term, which is why I want to bring in your children. Because you may buy a piece of land and you say, Tonian, buy that piece of land. What is it for, mom? You know, me not figure it out yet. But Tonian, because Tonian is trained in the real estate and have the eye or whatever, she might say, you know, mom, the population I get old enough. The location I might have good for assisted living. Mm-hmm. Because you see the trend, right? You know it might be good for tiny house village. Because she in her young mind look for other things, seek out information how she train. She's seeing other things that me in a my state over 50-year-old now. Nah see. Right? So you have to have that continuation with your children. And then your children have to train their children. And those children have to train their children. That is how your generation will not be poor and have to be starting over. Because they understand that you have to build on what it is that you have already. We're doing a book now in the book club called The Richest Man in Babylon. Those persons who have not been able to join us, I encourage you to join us. The book is a very good book. We learn all these basic fundamentals. Book written from 19 or long, but everything is the same. Nothing will change. So for the next 50 years, 100 years, nothing will change. All happen. Those people who used to rich, them family rich, and them wealthy and the wealth look endless and never ending. Them read the book already. That's all. Them read the book already.
Maybe 3 generations ago.
Yeah, 3 generations ago. They read the book already. So like me, I'm a generation that read it. Okay, so it started with me. So now my children have to make sure them understand the fundamentals, read the book. We have to train Xanders even just the same. Tony and bring some children here, them have to be trained just the same because nothing will change. It's going to be the same, right? But you have to understand you don't want it die with you. The children have to come in. Now some of us will have some children, them stubborn. Like my daughter Rachel is one of them, stubborn. You say, Rachel, you need to do this and that with Xavier. Oh, mom. Oh, mom, you know.
He's a baby.
He's a baby. Oh, mom. Like me, I'm the only one in here who shout at Xander and Xavier. Say, move from it. Say, get that done. Move on. I'm the only one who does it. Them young. Them don't understand. Them a boy picnics. I'm not pump on them, right? Now, we did The Richest Man in Babylon. Chapter 1, chapter 2. Mm-hmm. And I can't quote it verbatim, but it says the same sun that shined yesterday is the same sun going to shine 200 years from now. And it's the same sun that shined 200 years ago. So therefore, when you want wisdom, you must go to the older people who see the sunshine 50 years ago and who know what happened 50 years ago, right? The same wisdom them can impart to you. When them impart it because you young, Don't talk about, oh, mom, that are in a your days. That now gonna happen now. Like I say, are suffering right now with Zayvon with waking up in the nights. Now, my mother taught me when I had Tonian, she said at 6 months, the baby must be weaned from night feeding. How you wean? When the baby wake, you pat them. Them not go back to sleep, give them some water. So I did that with Xander at 6 months. I was the one who did it. And he was weaned within 3 days. Never kid not get up again when night come. With Zayvon, I wasn't here. And I said it, I reminded her, I said, remember, at 6 months, you're to wean the baby from night feed. Never listen. Zayvon is 1 year and or 3 months.
Yeah, about that.
And we are suffering with night, waking up, crying, want food, and oh my God. No, it's not just she suffering. I'm suffering too because I mean, the kid awake, I jump up because I'm a light sleeper because I get older, so I'm asleep light. All of you at my age will know that's right. But the same principles. I tell you this to tell you that the same principles that applied 50 years ago is the same principle that will apply 50 years from now. So you are to take the teachings, teach your children, teach your grandchildren while you're alive, and just keep doing that, right? Like another basic principle is that children learn most things by the time they reach 5. So if you want the child to read, you have to start now. Want him to love maths, you have to start now. Want him to love real estate, you have to start now. You have to. Because when them get old, like it's difficult to get to them. So everybody just understand that. What about the situation where grandchild children are getting their names on the title when grandma is ill and as the main beneficiaries are abroad? Criminal act.
And that's what their parents?
You're the main beneficiary, you're abroad. And you don't know what's on the grandparent, them put them name on the grandmother title.
Not only that, your parent is sick and you're not here.
Yeah, you're not here. Where are you?
What's happening?
Yeah, you're supposed to be close. Your parent is supposed to be close. So you're supposed to know. If you cannot be physically here, you get grandma the caregiver that she needs, right? You fly out here, you put grandma's things in order. Grandma, what are you going to believe in a will? What are you going to be doing? You get those things in order, right?
All this needs to be done before grandma gets sick.
Before grandma gets sick. Not when grandma gets sick. You're talking about you're the main beneficiary abroad. Nah, man. Remember, yes, you're probably, them say by law you're entitled to an inheritance. But don't this promise to you have to work for it.
You have to do the work too.
You have to do the work. That's just the truth. You have to do the work.
And taking an interest is part of doing the work.
Yeah, it is. Because them couldn't get grandma to sign that if you, the daughter, the son, if you are in the picture. Mm-hmm. Them can't. And then whose grandchild is this? Is this your child who is actually
I mean, what are they trying to do? Cut out the middle man?
Cut out the middle? Yeah. So no, you're going to have to go to court. All right, so Jennifer says she loved the book. Yes, Jen. All right, yes, Jennifer. Winston, I signed up for the book club but did not get a notification for when it was held.
Yeah, Winston, I'm not seeing your name on the registry for the book club.
Maybe he's using a different name. Winston using the right name? Winston Cole.
I'm not seeing it.
Not seeing it. Winston, send me a WhatsApp now. 2926. No, it's my phone here. 2926776. We're going to send you the link again. All right. You have another question? If not, let's get into this. So we're going to go now to the presentation for today. You can remember, you can still drop your questions in the chat. And still drop your comments in the chat. Right? Those of you who have not signed up for the book club, Tony will put it in the chat so you can sign up. You can get the link and sign up. Share. Slideshow. All right, you want to just check your phone and make sure you're seeing it. Mm-hmm. All right, everybody, welcome again. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your Sunday to join us. I'm Claudia Davis. Those of you who don't know my number, 292-6776. I'm a real estate broker. So I have a license for sales, rental, lease, and auctions. You also have with me Tony and Dietrich. Her number is 370-8138. She's a real estate salesman, and her license covers sales, rental, and leases. Tony, need some water?
Yeah.
All right, so you might want to lock the door. All right, so our quote of the week: you are your greatest asset. Put your time, effort, and money into training, grooming, and encouraging your greatest asset. In the book club today, when we did The Richest Man in Babylon, he spoke about time and study. He spoke about time being the fact that we have the same amount of time, meaning all of us have the same amount of time. All right? But do we all use our time wisely? No, we don't. But the Creator gave us the same amount of time, quote unquote, if the gods don't call you up to the heavens, right? So put your time, effort, and money into training, grooming, and encouraging your greatest asset. Your greatest asset is really you, because if I should die tomorrow and leave Tony on a whole portfolio of assets, and Tony has not trained herself, she has not groomed herself to how to manage and how to understand the assets that she has been left, very soon it will be gone. Right? It will be gone. So you are your greatest asset. You're also your greatest liability. No, you are your greatest asset was said by Tom Hopkins, and I believe him, which is why I spend a lot of time training myself, grooming, taking care of the asset that is me, because it starts with me. I can't acquire no other asset if me, myself, as an asset don't behave like an asset, right? And don't understand that I am an asset. So when I'm dating, I always believe that I am the greatest asset in that relationship. Yes, me. That's why the men always say I'm a control freak. Probably true. But I always believe that I'm the greatest asset. You know what I mean? And I behave like it. All right? Nobody can treat you like a liability without your approval. That was Anna Kristevaka. Kristevika. Wow, look like German, Tony. Anna. So nobody can treat you like a liability without your approval. Please remember that. All right, so we're doing, by now you must realize we're doing assets and liabilities. So those of you who missed the previous YouTube lives, you can go back and look at them. I think last week we did what? Income and expenditure. And the week before that we did credit versus loan. So this week we're doing asset versus liability. So what's an asset? Assets are things you own that have value. Assets can include things like property, cash, investments, jewelry, art, and collectibles. What are liabilities? Liabilities are things that are owed, like debts, These can include things like student loans, auto loans, mortgages, and credit card debt. If you notice, assets are things that you own, O-W-N, own. And liabilities are things that are owed. So mean you owe somebody something. So you owe some student loan, you owe a man some money that you have to pay back. Those are liabilities. This is according to Capital One. All right. Is there another definition? Now, Robert Kiyosaki from the Rich Dad Poor Dad books, he says, assets put money in your pockets, while liabilities take money from your pockets. Now,
Simplified it.
Not only did he simplify it, now we understand how to get rich.
Anything that puts money in your pocket.
Right. Anything that puts money in your pocket is an asset. And a liability takes money from your pocket. So it follows that you must have more things that put money in your pocket and less things that are liabilities that take money from your pocket. Let's look at some assets and see. Now, usually they'll tell you, oh, your house is an asset, your car, the furniture, the paintings, antique cars. I call those relics. I have a driver who insists that his car is an antique. I'm tired to tell him that he has a relic. He doesn't even drive it, but it's an antique. It puts no money in his pocket. Gold and silver, they tell you they're assets, stocks, paper assets, and businesses are assets. But how are they assets? You have to know that. So a house. How is a house an asset? Latonia, the house that you live in that you have to pay electricity, water, mortgage, floor bill, cable bill, fix it, termite treated, property tax, you name it. Is that an asset?
No, it's not putting money in my pocket. It's actually taking out money.
It's taking money out of their pocket. So Robert Kiyosaki may have a point.
And everyone is taking out more money for the same services.
More, because every month them raise it, right? The light bill gone up, the water gone up, you name it. It's just what? It trust me, there's a cash drain. No. Robert Kiyosaki might have a point, everybody. Your house, is it really an asset? That's what I tell you when you go to the bank, you know. So much house here, boom, 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 boom. And then my asset, right? No. When we go to the Rich Dad Poor Dad books, we're going to learn that the income from the asset or the house, in this case, must be more than the expenditure. So that it cash flows. That is how it now becomes an asset.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is now putting in some money in your pocket. So after you pay all of the expenditure and you collect the rent,
mm-hmm.
the rest that leave is now, that's why it is called an asset, because it's putting money in your pocket.
Okay.
Now hit me up in the comments if you agree, disagree. Tell me why you disagree. If you disagree, that the house that you live in is not an asset, or that you think the house that you live in is an asset. Tell me why you think the house you live in is an asset, and you don't believe nothing Mr. Robert Kiyosaki is saying here. So, same thing with the car. I'm driving a car now, and it is a big liability. Gas, servicing, insurance, you name it. It repairs, liability, right?
But it's a comfortable liability.
Comfortable liability. There is such a thing. But the car that you drive, liability, take money out of your pocket. But let's just say you have some cars that you rent out, and the expenditure, the rental income is more than the expenditure. Then you have an asset.
Okay.
The furniture. So we live in a house full of furniture. People are gonna tell you them pay. Oh, I'm gonna pay 1 million for my bedroom set. Ouch.
Was it nice?
Better nice. $1 million with a bedroom set.
As simple as you take it, it's like $500 for headboard and bed base and
Mhm.
mattress.
$500,000.
Half a billion.
Yeah. So the furniture. Are you renting those furniture? Can a movie set come in here and rent out the place for the furniture? Them nice, and you rent it out and you collect money. That's probably the only way we could. Mr. Kiyosaki would say it's an asset. What about all the nice paintings that you have? Hmm?
If persons come to look at them,
Tony, you want to sleep, man? Wake up too early.
yes, we had an early start.
We had an early start today, guys. All right, so paintings. Again, only if you're making some money. Antique cars. Maybe you rent out your cars for the movie sets. Then yes, you could consider it. Gold and silver, etc. Stocks. A lot of persons have stocks. Are they getting any dividends from these stocks? Are they buying the stocks and holding their breath and hoping that it goes up? And an asset. Can have paper assets too, bonds, treasury bills, etc. So the interest on the paper assets, yes, would be putting money in your pocket. Some persons have businesses. But is your business really an asset? Or your business just paying your income? Your business doesn't pay your salary. Maybe you need to go work for somebody because you have all this headache and this business is not generating any profits for you to be able to even get any dividends. So what's the point?
It's gonna take a while. You'll get there, but it's gonna take a while.
All right, take a while. So everybody,
Paulette says, apparently the host will always be a liability because you'll always have to be paying bills, etc. Question mark.
the host doesn't always have to be a liability. No, it's only a liability to you if you have to take money out of your pocket to pay for it. So let us say you have a business. Your business managed to make whole heap of money, and the business now owns a property that you live in. The business pays for all the expenses. You don't take any money out of your pocket to pay for this house. It is not an asset to you because it's not bringing any income money in your pocket. It is more a liability to the business because the business is spending money out of the business pocket to pay for this property that you live in free.
It's like deja vu.
Deja vu. Yes, sorry. But if it is that, let us say you have 10 properties, each property is bringing in enough income, and you live in a part of the property, you can live as a caretaker. So in this instance now, the monies from the rent is paying the light, the water, the this, the that. You're not taking any money out of your pocket to pay for anything. But this business actually puts money in your pocket as the owner or as the caretaker or as the gardener, as a helper, whatever you want to call yourself, not relevant.
Shay disagrees. Shay says your houses you live in is an asset because it goes up in price. You can sell it one day and downsize and keep the rest of the money.
No, that's the thing, Shay. If you have your one house and you sell it, Shay, I guarantee you won't be able to go back and live in that house.
No, she said downsize.
Downsize. But why would I want to downsize? I have managed to earn enough and live in a castle.
Maybe you don't have any
with
money.
my 100-foot swimming pool. I'm a sauna tub. I want to get back on here. I'm not seeing the question. I'm a sauna tub. I've now managed to do that. And I have my horse stable. I'm a doorman pincher them come up to me with my coffee in them mouth. Them just hold my cup, my teacup and bring it to me. I'm that rich.
Yeah, but I think
why
in
would
first world cultures they teach them to buy a big house. Then when your kids get older and move out, you downsize and you use the profits and retire nicely.
Tony, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Which king and queen you see doing that? Who say must do that?
Shay.
Shay, tell me, where is the king and queen you see doing that? Which 5% are the top 5% are the top 1% is doing that?
Jennifer says a house can be a liability as well as an asset.
Mm-hmm. But there's how it becomes an asset is if it put money in your pocket. So how is it, Shay? Shay, I want you to tell me. Remember, I know. Pay attention to what the rich do. I don't mean the wanna be rich. I mean the wealthy. I never see Queen Elizabeth sell her castle and downsize. Did she? Hmm? Hmm?
No.
No. So
Cassie's still there for her son to live.
yes, and his children and so on and so forth. And their lifestyle has not downsized. So this thing that you're buying to about, oh, when I get older, I'm going to sell my house and I'm going to downsize my standard of living. No, 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 no. Richest man of Babylon don't teach us that. So Shay, join the book club.
Jennifer says if you are living in a house and have a section of the house that you are renting or you do Airbnb, it's an asset.
If the income is more than the expenditure, yes. Not just that it's renting, but the income must be more than the expenditure. So when you pay the light bill, pay the water bill, pay the helper, pay the gardener, all of that, you must put money in your pocket. That's how it's now an asset.
Lenny says house is an asset as it appreciates in value over time. Although a car depreciates, it can be an asset if it is used to make a living or an extra income.
All right, Lenny. Good. The second and third part I agree with. If the income is more than the expenditure. The part about the house value going up, for one thing, it is not set in stone that the house prices will go up. In the 70s in Jamaica, house prices nosedive. When we thought Michael Manley was going to go side with the communists, everybody pick up themselves and sell them property. Also give it cheap, 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 cheap. Right? There's nothing that says in concrete that house prices have to go up. In the 2008, I think it was, when you had Fannie Mae and something another Mac, Bernie Mac, certain name, I don't remember. Bernie Mac is an actor, isn't it?
Yeah. Comedian.
Right. Those of you who live overseas know this. The house prices went way down. Now with interest rates in the UK double and tripling, persons are forced to sell, them a fireside sale, house prices go way down. Again, am I correct or incorrect on that one? Somebody tell me. Two things keep house prices high: demand and inflation. If demand and inflation not running together, house prices will fall. You must have demand and inflation going together. So there's no guarantee that house prices will go up. We pray and we hope that it goes up, and we have not bought a white elephant. But as you will learn, if you come into the book club and we study other books, you will learn you make the money when you buy the asset. You're not waiting to make money 10 years from now. So when you buy the asset, you must be making money now. That is how you do investments. You must be making the money now. That's an investment. Any more? Tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts. Jarvis says, I totally agree with you. All right. So we're not into downsizing, Shay. Downsizing mean my standard of living fall. You mean to say no, me have to go back, go drive, what car name am I first? VW Bug, 1970.
No, wait, I think she just says that you're downsizing the house.
Downsize the house?
Yeah,
My big 20 by 20 square foot bedroom with my king size $1 million furniture in a it. And what's up name? My jacuzzi with the jet them just a box me so.
Maybe you don't need so much space.
Why don't need it? Shane, no Shane, that's where I disagree with you now. Not selling downsizing to if I was gonna do that. All right, Shane. Let me take it to the logical conclusion. I had a landlord, you see, once, Mr. Campbell. I was sitting on that tree with him, pull up in my car, and I say, all right, now I got my office yet. See, Mr. Campbell, Tony, you're getting dark. Probably need to open back the door. So, Mr. Campbell pull up, park, go sit down beside him on the bench. He said to me, Mr. Campbell, can you do sit down and I need that tree, man? He said, boy, Claudia. As you said that, you know, I remember something, you know. He said, you know, say, I passed a man a couple years ago underneath a tree in a hammock. And that tree same way, but this man was in a hammock. And he had a beer, a drink. And I said to him, say, what man? What you do? So why not get up and go work? Why you not in a hammock doing a broad daylight? He said, get up and work and then what? He said, you mean and then what? You're gonna earn some money. You have some children, you have to take care of them. He said, and then what? So you might find yourself buy like a car so you can move around. And him say, and then what? You know, you get more money, you buy a house and all of that. And then what? So Mr. Campbell said, what do you mean, and then what? Yeah. So after I buy the car, buy the house, have the children, take care of them, by this time now, we probably reach about 65, 70. And then what? So Campbell said, and then you can't go lie under the hammock. The man said, if me no say, me are going to end up in the hammock 70 years from now, why would I want to do all of that to come back and lie down in the hammock? So it comes back to my point. If I know that when I reach to 65, I am going to downsize into a little 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. On a little piece of land. We do a little piece of veranda, sit down with 2 chairs and look out that door. Why do all that work?
Just buy that from the start.
Just buy the little 2-bedroom and be content with that, and that's it. Done with it. I don't need to do all of that. So guys, think about it. I am not going to be doing all that work. Just to downsize. If I was going to do that, I would have stayed with my little 2-bedroom house at Spanish Town, Fairview Park, that I had actually bought in 1990. That's what I would have done. But I'm not going to downsize to do all that work and then come back down to no. I have to do what Queen Elizabeth do.
Jarvis says, for example, I bought a house at $200,000 in 2005, sold it 2010 for $550,000, purchased another property in 2011 for $330,000, sold a property 2 years ago for $950,000, purchased a property after for $650,000. At least you only own one property.
Oh, but you call that a good investment. Jarvis, I disagree with you. First of all, you always have to keep, Jarvis, I hope you're in the book club. You always have to keep finding a property to buy. So you find a buyer, you sell, you have to find a next property. All carrying you there so is in what we call inflation. That's all carrying you. So it sounds to me that between 2005 to 2023.
2010.
No, 2 years ago.
No, the first one is 5 years.
2005
to 2010.
No, man. We just want to start to the finish.
Oh.
So 200,000 in 2005 to now 2023. I want you to go back, check the inflation, check the price for that same $200,000 house. I'm want to tell me if you still think you're ahead.
But look at here. They so bought a property for 95, sold it, and then purchased one for 650.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little profit.
We're not talking about profit. We're not talking about profit. You have 950,000. You have 650,000 in real estate, and you have 300,000 in cash.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct? 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. 300,000 in cash, and you have 650,000 in real estate. I want you to go back. That same house that you purchased of 200,000 in 2005. Tell me the price of that property now. Also, it seems to me like, so you sold for 550, purchased another 211 for 330, sold the property 2 years ago for 950. All that buying and selling back and forth, that is what we call capital gain. But when we get to the book called The Richest Man in Babylon, he's going to show us cash flow is what is important.
You mean Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Rich Dad Poor Dad, sorry. He's going to show us.
Well,
Kiyosaki's going to show us. Cash flow is king.
But Richest Man in Babylon does say, though.
Yeah.
He said something about have income that no matter how much you spend,
yeah,
you don't have to earn it.
You don't have to earn it. Jarvis, that's what we go after. In your example, you constantly have to be working. You have to find a property, you have to sell it. Now you have a property for 650,000, you have 300,000, you're probably gonna go look for another property for 300,000. But you really don't have any money to spend. You see that? The money's tied up in the property.
Jarvis says, but if I didn't do that, I would be paying rent, and rent is over $2,000 a month. So instead of giving away my money to a property owner, I purchased, and now I have something to show for it.
Right, that's good. But I want you to join the book club because you're going to learn. You need to learn cash flow. Cash flow. What you're doing is buying and selling, what we call trading. So it is buying and selling. So you're buying and selling property. It's just like buying and selling shoes, or buying and selling stocks, or buying and selling. You will see the distinction if you read the books. So the richest man in Babylon says we are to ensure a future income. So what that means is whether or not I decide to get up out of my bed and do any work, I always have money coming in my bank account. That's what cash flow does for you. So I can get up, I can go real for 3 weeks, don't have my phone, it don't really matter. The money is coming in my bank account. That's what you work for, Jarvis. And your method, you have to teach your children how to do this. Who said them good at finding a property, flipping it, all of that? You understand? So you're doing a good buy and sell. But I'm not convinced it's good because the inflation is also carrying you. What is good is what the richest man in Babylon says, is that you converted your rent. We don't reach that chapter yet, guys. You converted your rent to a mortgage, which is good. Mm-hmm. So instead of giving away the rent money, you converted it. So that's good, yes. So the richest man in Babylon does tell us that. He says, make thy dwelling a profitable investment. We don't reach that
what
chapter.
What Jarvis needs to get to is somebody paying him $2,000 a month for it.
Right. That's what you need to get to know. Or more than that.
Love Shay says, well, we are hardworking people. We are not king and queen. When my kids grow up, we don't need all those bedrooms.
Yeah, you don't? Well, fine. You don't need it. That's you. But you don't consider yourself a queen? I'm a queen. I treat myself like a queen every day. Because if I don't, who is going to do it for me? Tony.
I know, but the kings and queens got where they are today because they conquered land and vested in property.
And they told themselves they were kings and queens.
Right, that too.
Yeah.
And we still have the ability to conquer land and invest in property, just a different way.
Just a different way. We still have the ability, yes. Just in a different way. So you have to remember too, having it makes your life a little easier too, right? Mm-hmm. So Arnett says, even if the investment you have is not giving you much income, you just have to hold it out and hope inflation will change at some point. Arnett. You hope inflation will. What about deflation? You forget about that? Or you don't live long enough yet? Forget about deflation? If you read history, it would tell you how people run from one point to the next and every real estate was dust. Never mean nothing. Nobody lived in it. Right? So, Arnett, the history will teach you what happened. Right? Now, some person's income coming in different ways. So the singers of this world, these people have intellectual property. Their money is coming in every week, every day, because they invested the time to build the intellectual property. They invested the time to write the book, to write the music, to sing the music. You know, they invested that time already. So it is that is their capital, or that is their real estate. So they expended all the money upon them costume, them coach, them, you name it. Mm-hmm. They invested all that money to do that. So you may invest in house, real estate. So look at it this way to Jarvis. Them invested all that money in them intellectual property. That is their real estate. And their real estate brings in money, cash flow to them every single day. So they don't need to sing another song. The Britney Spears of this world, you know, the Rihannas of this world. I love Rihanna's songs. Listen to them all the time. They don't need to write another song, sing another song. Them already invest in the real estate and it brings in the royalties to them. That is what you want. You don't want to keep, you build a song, then you sell it to John. Then you have to build a next song, sell it to John. No, that's not what you want. Right? And we don't talk about inflation to carry us. Inflation is artificial. As you are going to find 2 years from now, when all of them inflation points there, Jamaica had an inflation point at what, 4 and 5%, I think, one time. Now we're gone up again and it soon come back down. And at one point it's all the way up in the sky. The first house I bought, it was 18.75 was the mortgage, the interest, 18.75 from Victoria Mutual. So you must put in the investment. We're not just talking about real estate, it's any investment. Remember what we're talking about, assets and liabilities. You want assets. So for the singers of this world, their assets are the body of music that they built. Michael Jackson, all of those persons who gone now. Their body of work, that's the asset. They could have bought 100 houses just the same and have the same income coming in, right? So their body of work, their intellectual property, that is the asset. All right? So consider when you're building your worth, your wealth, that you want to build wealth. You want to build a stream of income, as it says in The Richest Man in Babylon, that keeps coming. No matter how much oil you drink or smoke it out, it still keeps coming. Not even you can finish it. That is what you want. So that was the lesson today. Assets and liabilities. No, I don't focus on liabilities. You know why? You will always have liabilities. But guess what? If you focus on your income stream, liabilities don't bother you because you will always have more income to cover liabilities. So you focus on income. That's what you focus on. Don't focus on not buying the $1 million bed set or not putting in the jacuzzi bath that going to cost you 2 million. No. If you have the income coming in, then that is what you focus on. So the income part is the positive part. When we get to books like Think and Grow Rich, those books are mind building books. So those books will teach you that you will stick to the positive side, right? You try to maintain a balance, but the negative side and the positive always wins. So that's the side you want to be on. As them say, good triumph over evil. Yes, that's true. That's how the universe is. The positive side is what is going to always triumph. So as long as you remember that and you can focus on that side, you'll be good. Demand and inflation is very important. Yes, Jennifer. Thank you. Miss Claudia, you're such a great thinker. Arnett. Thank you, Arnett. Thank you so much for that. All right. The tax bill. Okay. The tax bill will make you downsize. Kids gone and you retire, so don't need the space. Why don't I? Why you all keep thinking I don't need the space?
That's just how they're trained in their society to believe that.
To believe that. Can you imagine?
Their society also teaches them to go into a nursing home.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, come on, guys. Don't subscribe to those things, or you will have poor thinking. What do you mean by I don't need the size? I don't need the 4 acres of gardens that I planted how much years ago. Huh? That helped me to with my whole mental state and everything. It's because of the goddamn little chuck-up place where the mental state get messed up.
And their kids leave.
And your kids gone.
Kids leave.
Yeah. No, you must build your family. And when your children come to visit you, you know, this is a cramp up space, and I mean nobody wants to come because you don't have a nice big space. You know? No. I'm not downsizing to nothing. Not saying I want a little country home where we can run to a 1 to 5. But I'm not downsizing. Not downsizing main residence. That's for sure. I'm not talking about, and no child of mine can come to me and tell, oh, mom, you no longer need this space. We need to sell. And we need to get you into a smaller house. Leave me in my house alone. I worked for it. That's what I want. I wanted to go with my big veranda, look out there, and enjoy everything I'm work for. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Cynical. In all the major cities in UK and New York, house prices generally increase 75 to 100 every 10 to 12 years. And then what happened to that after that, Lenny? What she's saying is most likely a cultural difference between the West to Jamaica, as it's common for folks to downsize a large house in senior years as a cost to run the smaller house. You know why that happened, Lenny? You know why that happened, Lenny? The cost? Because they don't have what we call income streams.
You still have your pension.
You still have your little pension. That is what's happening, Lenny. Which is why you hear me focusing. Income streams is what you focus on to build your assets. Build assets and have income streams. That way you don't have to worry about pay the pool man to fix the pool, or to clean the pool, or buy chlorine to put in the pool. You don't worry about those things because you have your income streams coming in. Right? Cost to run? No. And if you know you're going to work just for pension, no, you may as well stick to the small house. Telling you.
Save yourself the money.
Save yourself the headache. Don't bother go up there. Don't go up with a 5-bedroom and a 6-bedroom and a big estate and nothing like that. Mm-hmm. Do like the man in the hammock. Stay in the hammock. Right? Divinity. Do you have to get a lawyer to get a title for a land, or GeoLand will help and give you a title? What if there's no proof to show that his father gave him the land? Is it possible to get a title? Well, the land would pass naturally to the son, you know, or the daughter. GeoLand is, you don't need a lawyer. If you go to GeoLand does everything. You don't need a separate lawyer. You just need those documents that we discussed earlier.
And even if you don't have the documents, you can still talk to GLN.
Right.
Maybe there's other things you can do. Maybe that's just the
No man, though. Once the remember the what you call them? Affidavit people, what you call them? The persons who are going to say that yes, I know John did was on the land and it's John built that house and what them name again, guys? The referees, the references. Yeah. Because you're gonna need two persons. Right? All right. So questions are over. So assets, liabilities. Focus on assets. I also implore you to read more books. Do not listen to some of you going to a first world country, you get caught up in first world thinking, right? Yes, you can get caught up in first world thinking, but make sure you're emulating who is where you want to go. All right? Emulate who and where you want to go. Now, you will get wealthy. If you focus on it, you will get wealthy. But if you don't read the books, if you don't study, if you don't understand money, how it comes about, how you can keep it, what you can do with it, you will lose it. And you will succumb to all these thinking kind of things. As I said, why do all of that to come back to the hammer? No way. Yes, Miss Jennifer, I am a queen. I need my 9-bedroom house. We'll rent some of the rooms. Yes. I want my 10 and 12 bedroom house too. Don't come tell me about all of this. Oh, mom, you must downsize. Oh, mom, only 2 sardines you must eat. Oh, mom, you can't drive that anymore, mom. We have to give you this little hatchback, this little car, mom. This is what you can afford. No, may have the money, pay the driver, don't it? Pay the helper, pay the gardener. But you have to you pay attention to. Don't subscribe to the norms and isms that you see around you. Read more widely. Look at what other wealthy people do. Right? Next week we're gonna do a case study on other wealthy families. Well, we did some already, but we'll do the case studies, and I'm sure I can guarantee you the wealthy families in Jamaica, the top 1%, even the top 5%, they are not downsizing their mother and father house. No, they're not. Right? So think. Keep your family intact and think. Any more questions? We are 6 minutes. Yes, Miss Jen agreed with me. She wanted her 9-bedroom house. Yes, Miss Jen. Divinity. He's not living there. The land is just there. But someone built a foul house where the road's supposed to cut through the lands. Do you think that would pose any problem? Divinity, you can only test it. How much land is it? You can only test it. You have to. Everybody, if you're overseas, you have to make sure you take care of your property. You have a fence. That land didn't have a fence. That's why somebody could have put a foul coop there, so because it don't have a proper fence.
And do not trespass.
You have to put a fence. You have to put a do not trespass sign. You have to make sure you go there, you cut out the lot. You have to keep on care. I'm gonna look for, there is a landmark ruling where the law lords ruled on a keep and care. You have to show, remember, the land is not yours. You're just a landholder, not the landowner. It is the crown who owns the land. Therefore, the crown at any point can take it away from you. Right?
If in our government.
Yes. If the crown recognizes that, you have not made the best use of this land. Because you get the land. Remember, the same kings and queens back in the past is them cut up the land and sold it to the peasants. And they are the ones who also invented mortgage, right? So for you to pay the money to them monthly. And they realize that after 30 years and you don't pay for this land, them still want to have some level of control. So them now bring in property tax. That's why you pay property tax to the crown. Because the crown, those are the people. Well, the crown, meaning the government of the day, are the queens and queens of the lands. They're the ones who actually own the land.
Mm-hmm.
That is why somebody asks about tax commission of lands. That's the government. I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to make you take that from them, right? And remember, everybody, the wealth. I keep saying it. The wealth is in the land. Really, that's where it is. The wealth is in the land. So you have to understand that too. All right. Any more questions? No more questions. Look like we can leave early today, Tony.
Like what, 3 minutes?
All right, it's a blue planet. First I seen this name.
Good day, Miss Davis. You're the best in JA right now. You're great, so creative.
That's simple. Carlos, blessed day, fam. Ah, hi, Carlos. Blessed day, fam. Keep teaching us. And your daughter, she's amazing and she's learning and teaching a lot. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Yes, everybody, we have to understand that even this thing about downsizing, I don't like it because I don't want my family to start back from scratch. Cash is fleeting. Very soon we're going to move to digital currency. And you're going to see even more how fleeting it is when you move to digital currency.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, people used to keep gold in them vault and gold. Then they went to coins and realized, oh, the coin, them too much to buy the bread. Then they went to paper money. Now we're going digital. Whether we like it or not, that's where we're heading. But the real wealth is in the land. If you notice, even all of the big wigs, them know, them have so much money, them buy up land farm, land all boat, and this and land all boat and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The wealth is in the land. So what does that tell you? If I manage to build a castle, I don't want my children selling the castle because, as I say, if you sell the golden goose who lay the golden egg every single day, your goose will be cooked. Your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren will be poor.
You have to go find another goose.
Yeah.
I know how it is to find one that lays
You know how it is to find a golden goose? So if your mom or dad actually was able to purchase a property and have it, you need to figure out how can you improve on it. How can you build and make your family more wealthy? How can you use that property to bring in income so that you don't have to fret because every income will come. You can sit down on the veranda, you can watch TV, you can sleep, Tony. We not wake up out of our bed if we know. We not have answer the phone neither. Although Tony never got answer the phone. Liquor rain, she have called left, right, and center about leak. Just a liquor rain that just
it was like what, 30 minutes of rain?
30 minutes of rain. Also, for Christ asked about the subdivision course. Yeah, we're working on it so far. But that subdivision course is very in-depth in a so far. It's not something that I can just write overnight in a so far. For you to get your money's worth, I really have to go into depth. So by the time you finish the course, you know what to do. Yeah. Will you guys be going to throw pots, throw pits, throw eggs? What is that? Not so sure what that is. Hurricane Gilbert. Is there a land, if there is a land that's sitting there and not being maintained by the owner, the sister won't probate the land, maybe because it costs more than the actual land cost. And you are interested in what to do you do. Get into an agreement, get a lawyer, share a lawyer, get into an agreement, and you can probably upfront the money to probate. And let the lawyer do an agreement so your interest is registered.
The probate costs more than the land?
Not supposed to. The probate costs more than the land. It means it's some really cheap land. But what would you want that for?
What? So your probate is not based on the value of the land?
Yeah, but there's a percentage. So it can't be more than the land. There's a percentage, a small percentage.
Mm-hmm.
You need to keep and clean your land, yes. Or squatters will take it over. I just wanted the insurance still on target. Yes, so it's on target. And also fence the property, yes. All right, so assets and liability was it today, but really and truly, I just touched the surface. If you really want to dig deep into this thing, you come into the book club, read the books with us. That is where the information is. They said that if you want to hide something from us, put it in a book. And it is so true. Because a lot of what persons say to me when we speak about these things is hearsay. Is hearsay,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or them look at John over there, so John say, "Oh yeah, make a downsize because of that." Or you look at John and say, "No, son, I'm not buying a 9 bedroom house now. Let's go after the liquor something there, whatever." Hearsay. You have to read the books. Tony's gonna post the book club now. And I know that even though some persons sign up, they still don't come into the book club. But we will send you the recordings. So you should benefit if you listen to it right through. It's only 1 hour, although today we went over by 15 minutes. So it is 1:30 to 2:30, everybody. You learn a lot from these old books and new books that we'll be doing. Those books helped propelled me, gave me the information, knowledge that I needed to move as a little poor girl out of Jonestown, to move to the next level, to change my thinking, because a lot of it is how you think.
Mm-hmm.
It's right up here. That's what's blocking you. There is no white people blocking you, no Chinese people blocking you, Indian people, no puss, no dog, nothing. All is blocking you is your thinking. How
And
you
your
think.
ability to read
Yes, your thought process.
and understand.
And understand. That's what's blocking you. And the fact that you're not reading enough books. Because everything you want to know is in a book. The richest man in Babylon brought that point home today too. See if I can find it quickly. He brought it home to us when he said, um, he said time time and study. Time and study. Where is it?
Did you highlight it?
I did. Time and study. It's one of the lessons that you have to learn. Time and study. Probably oh, see there. He said, I decided that if I was to achieve what I desired, time and study would be required. As for time, all men have it in abundance, right? But as for study, did not our wise teacher teach us that learning was of two kinds? One, the kind being the things we learned and knew. So when you're in school, teacher put a book in front of you, you study it and you know it. So that's one. The other being in the training that taught us how to find out what we did not know. And that is where the downfall comes in us Jamaicans as a people. We only study what the teachers put in front of us. We only study the book list from the books that your parents run up and down, like my mother was a stickler for that. Every single book she had to go get it. Downtown, run up and down. We only study the books that they put in front of us. But this book that was written in 1926, tells you that there are two kinds of study that you must do. One them put in front of you, and the other being in the training that taught us. In other words, we got the training, and it taught us how to find out what we did not know. That's what makes a difference. You have to go find out what you don't know. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
And everything now that you want to learn, everything, there's nothing hidden. It's in a book. And you don't even have to buy it. It's free. You're online. You can just go Google it. Right? How long do you long takes to give you a title? I just did one. It took us, was it a year and a half?
More than that.
About 2 years.
It was happening during COVID.
About 2 years, guys. Don't ask me why them take so long, but they do. And we submitted everything. Because with my clients, I make sure I'm not doing no partial submission. We submit every single thing and we paid the money that they asked us for in full. Because I'm only going there once, submit the documents. The rest of it is phone call, follow up, where you reach, what does it need, da 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 da. But we submit everything once. So, and it still took 2 years. But them have to do them checks. Them have to make sure that you not claim land that you're not in possession of, or that your parents never really did buy or did own, or right? That's what they do. All right, we were early, now we're late. It's 5:07. All right, no more questions, Tony. So we can wrap up.
We can.
Thank you so much. The cost, it depends on your property tax. It depends on the value on the property tax. So when you go there, what they're gonna do, you have to bring your property tax paper, right? They're gonna bring it up, and they have some algorithm in them thing that tell you how much it was. I think in this instance, how much was it? 100 and some thousand. In the scheme of things, it was a lot of money. Near 200,000, and my fee I think was 50,000. So in the scheme of things, that's a lot of money. But she have a title and she have her land. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great, great weekend.
Bye,
Well, the
everyone.
weekend finished now. But see you in the book club, guys. Remember, jump into the book club. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is money now. The more you learn, the more you earn. But the more you earn is the more you must learn.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.